Enjoying the fruits of their labor at Easton Stadium. It's been a weekend to remember for the Bruins, turning the Husky howl into a mere whimper. Number 8, UCLA, eyes the sweep after back-to-back victories the past 2 nights. Washington's hoping to hand them their first home loss, as we're set for the series finale between these longtime rivals. Season, and we are ready to go. First pitch is a pop-up on the right field side. Savannah Pola saunters over and makes the catch, and it's a good start for Terry and the UCLA defense.
You see the standings for the Big Ten and home games that the teams that pose the biggest threat are the ones that are able to score first.
And Terry gets the strikeout. Sits down DeBoer looking for out number 2.
And on a
rain for Oregon. Number 1 ERA in the Big Ten. The payoff from Terry. A changeup, and that's just fluttered over the head of Kanaya Bragg in left. And it's a 2-out single for Jaden Glab. And Terry gets her to swing. A 2-3 put out for Cervinty. She strikes out 2 in the opening frame. Game 3 off to a good her either. Clements on the 2-1, lines one into center, and a sliding grab by Mazzola to make the first out. And for the first time this series, the pitch is thrown in that outing. On the 2-2, that's roped into right, and Savannah Pola does what she does best. Another hit in game number 3.
she just finds a way on, whether it's
special all season long for UCLA. And again, rips one into the gap in right center. That gets away from Flores. Digging for third is Pola. And Woolery sets the Bruins up at the corners and in great position here in the opening frame. 3 consecutive games. That pitch is high. It gets away from Glab. Bruins take advantage, and Pola scores the opening run. Woolery swipes second as well.
in a more athletic position to be ready to receive that ball. I think maybe have caught her by surprise. So me as a catcher, whenever this came up, I feel like this was a little more scary for me as a catcher. I'd rather be in my squat ready to prance out.
On the ground, what a pick, the flip to third, and it's off the glove of Alvarez. Can't hold on to make the play. Pesek with a tremendous fielding job at short. They got her to pop it up, shallow left, and Ava Carroll makes the play, and Woolery wasn't given enough runway to take a chance at coming home. So that's what you wanted if you're Hansen in this Huskies defense for out number 2. Ramirez, and the righty hitter softly hit up the middle to Hansen, and the senior is able to get out of a bases loaded jam to keep this damage to just 1. But the Bruins grab the early lead.
In bonds after softball to keep these people together and keep that unity as an alumni base.
And Flores strikes that one well. She's going to take her chance at 2. The play is thrown and a beat late. Riley Slip gave Pola a chance at second. Couldn't lay the tag in time, and Flores able to show off the wheels with a infield pinches in. Grant is ready for it and flips it to Pola to retire Sevatasi. The Huskies do advance Flores to third, which was the end goal. The Bruins will gladly collect the first out.
Point, you need this run right here for the Huskies. You need to feel like it's evenly matched up, like you struck back as soon as you could and that the game isn't getting away from you.
And Terry is able to retire Mazzola, the third punch out for the sophomore. And Pesek is able to drive in Alicia Flores from third. And it's a 2-out RBI single for the sophomore as the Huskies tie the Bruins for the first time this series.
Terry, you know you're going to get something elevated, but you don't want to get something that's going to be her rise ball.
Oregon, Washington dropped the first 2 games to the Ducks and then took game 3, 4-3 at home. As that's Woolery with a great pick over in front of the third base bag. She kept it fair and fired it across the diamond to retire Jade Bupke. But the Huskies get 1 run back. Solo, pardon, a 2-run home run in game 1 and flies it into left. On the second pitch, Ava Carroll's there to retire her for the first out. Again, she gave up runs early to Ohio State, but still managed to bounce back as she takes the payoff all the way and is sat down looking. Stevie Hansen records her first strikeout of the afternoon.
They really want her to just be herself and immerse herself and bring what she can is admirable.
High chopper, it's gonna be a tough play to make, and Bupke can't get the fire off. Clements is on with a 2-out single to extend this inning for UCLA. That's flown into left, and Carroll casually walks on up underneath it. So the Bruins leave Clements stranded at first.
You have to also note that in 2019, Rachel Garcia was a senior and had been hitting for a while. So I feel like Caitlin Terry will get to that point. It's just going to take her time to get used to the level of competition in the circle.
Love her size over at first base. Just a big target to throw to. Also a big target in the batter's box, but pops it up into shallow right. Backpedaling is Pola, and they're 2 away. So Terry has retired 3 straight. Game to Jaden Glab. Starting catcher back in, second at bat for her. Goes after the first pitch. Pola feels like it's deja vu. Same exact pop-up, same exact results. And a quick been impacting the game in other ways. On the 5th pitch, that slicing foul, a chance to be caught by Flores just in front of the side netting. And she holds on to collect out number 1.
Is starting conference and seemed to lock in her mindset at the plate.
And Grant right on cue, blasts one into right center. And Megan Grant has stolen the show once again in game 3. Home run number 22 for the junior. She is amazing. 4th straight game with a home run.
And she just keeps tacking onto her total. She goes to this pitch that's elevated and just brings her flat swing straight to the ball and just sends it out of the park. She's just doing it with any and every pitch in her zone. She's amazing. She's killing it right now.
You've been around a pitch in the zone. She crushes it. And Bragg leads the nation in this department, being hit by pitches. That's number 19 on the season, relishes the punishment, at least after the fact. 10. That's going to be fair. A glove by DeBoer at first, and the relay to second is late. Peshek was in position. Great ground out for softball history. As Ramirez slams one into left. Welcome back, Alexis Ramirez. Her second home run since she's returned to the lineup. It's a 2-run bomb, and she's given the Bruins a 4-1 lead here in the 3rd.
And you see that ball wanting to be elevated, but just stayed over the plate. So much so that Alexis was able to really just get enough of her barrel on it to really send it out of here quickly.
Mojica chases and comes up empty as Hansen is able to punch her out. Second strikeout for Alvarez. That is softly hit up the middle, and it drops for a base hit. And with that hit, Alvarez is now Osman. They've got great freshmen that have been producing. As that is going to be flexed into left. Slimp gave it a dive. Could not get it under the glove. It's Washington program. And Terry plunks her. And for the first time, the Huskies have a chance to take the lead. And they will take a look at this, as this could have hit the knob first. And I believe that is...
I need to look at this because it did hit her in the box. And when...
And the call is upheld. It's an arm.
Those rollover hits that are going to the left side against a right-handed batter, so...
Well, quick 4-pitch RBI walk for Riley Peshek, and the small ball's kind of working right now, if you will, for Washington. Playing the patient. And Fisher gets her to swing. One gone here in the fourth. Big first out for her. 0 for 2 is Carroll. And Carroll laces one deep into center. Clements is on the move. She falls to make the catch. It does score Craig from third. There are 2 away. But we have a tie ball game here at Easton Stadium, as the Huskies have been showing off the resolve, but give credit to Jessica Clements with the acrobatic catch in center.
Great at bat by Carroll, but this is a catch right here. She's running straight back. It's right over her shoulder, and just had a really great beat on the ball to get it and just extend herself fully. That would have been a carousel if it went through.
She's got a chance to be busy again. This time it's a little bit easier of a catch. So the Huskies tied the game up through 4. But who, of course, was the leading pitcher during that 2009 championship run for Washington, as Terry's going to try to beat out the throw with a sac bunt. But the Washington defense...
And they just knew what it took to be really, really great. They had a lot of Washington alum on that team that are now helping coach the younger generation and just have a lot of knowledge to pour out from their experiences at an international level.
Yeah, it's
able to disperse but still show their dominance and their strength throughout the conference.
If it stays fair, it is gone. It is off the pole, but it is ruled a home run. Savvy Pola with her 8th jack of the season, and she puts the Bruins back on top.
She wanted to make it clear that she had a home run, so she just decided to play target practice with the foul pole.
What a pull. Certainly had the height and the clearance. Did not waste any time.
Can we call that the Pola pole now?
I like that. You should trademark that. The Pola pole.
Foul pole. Let's put foul pole in there. Well.
Woolery wallops one into left, but Ava Carroll is going to backtrack and make the catch. So she retires Woolery, but not before Savannah Pola. Everyone knows that she's exceptional. Deuces a ground ball. Woolery on the pickup, fire to Grant for the first out.
Would also like to add that not a lot of teams have faced her just because she is a freshman, so that's also the big secret.
Giselle Alvarez lifts one into right center, and charging forward is Clements to retire her for the second out. Not to mention, she's a huge Dr. Pepper fan. I got a chance to chat with her a couple days ago. Flores gets underneath this one. It's sailing into left. Had some late tail at the end, but a couple steps to her left, and Slimp makes the catch. So Fisher retires the side. Quick 3 up, 3 down. Trying to pitch right through her. Full count. And got her to pop it up. Giselle Alvarez calls everyone off. And it feels like that's the first time in this series and in quite some time that an opposing pitcher has gotten her to just pop up. Again, Ramuno has a really good rise ball. Walks Bragg. Second free pass awarded to Bragg. As that is going to be shot into right, and it's a one-out single for Riley Slim. Ramirez gets a handle of this into center. Mazzola is there to make the catch. 2 away.
What a see a different pitcher every at bat is harder on a hitter than it is to be able to see the same pitcher over and over again.
6-3 put out from Peshek to DeBoer. Bruins leave 2 stranded, but still lead it by 1. We're through 5 here at Easton Stadium. On to
you learn who's going to step up. Helps you kind of build the identity and build that puzzle of what the team's going to look like that year.
Boy, a hot shot to Woolery at third. She was ready for it with the first out. And surprisingly for UCLA, as good as they've been, the specific day Sunday has been their weakest day of the year. 4-3 in games played on the final day of the weekend as Fisher Pesha grounds it to Woolery on the 1-hop, and she guns her down. So Addison Fisher has retired her last 7. And Terry is able to slap one up the middle, and staring at 2 strikes, delivers a 2. The batteries that were being formed by not only Ramuno, as KT is going to take off for second and a safe on the late transfer. Getting confused in my head right now. Coming up, wasn't feeling well. KT's going to try her hand at 3. It gets away from Alvarez, and Caitlin Terry comes around to score and tack on an insurance run in the 6th.
And that's risky business, stealing third base, but KT seems so confident stealing bases now. That's become a part of her game and is able to bring a run across without having Jessica Clements do anything.
Two check swing to Bubke at second, and she makes the play. 4-3 put out, puts 2 away. Pardon, 1 away.
The numbers prove it. You can ask them if they like playing at Easton Stadium. They love the crowd and they love the atmosphere that they get to be in.
Peshek drifting over to her right. Retires Pola for out number 2.
That program is being taken care of really well by Melissa Lombardi.
Skied into shallow left. Carroll having to contend with the sun. Doesn't matter. But the Bruins and Caitlin Terry take advantage of some errant throw. Fisher setting the tone to begin the 7th. Her second knockout in the last 4. Third of the contest for the freshman. This week, how big of a factor the rain could be. That softly rolled to Pola at second, makes the flip to Grant to retire her, so the weather conditions could play a big role.
Especially with a team that...
The changeup, DeBoer flies it into right. Back goes Terry, and DeBoer with a solo home run to keep Washington in it here in the 7th. Her 15th bomb of the season.
And I feel like after watching DeBoer so many times this season, she's a player to watch, but I was wondering how long she was going to be held down for. I wonder when she was really going to be able to pop off, and she got it right here at the end of the series in her last at-bat, and you see a little smile there. She was just really trying to be able to find her launch angle against Addison Fisher, and she really did just get enough of it. It seemed to like sneak over the...
Need some assistance from her teammates. on the ground. Woolery with the field and makes the play. A series sweeping save for Woolery, Fisher, and the Bruins as they improve their win streak to 12, and they stay perfect here at home.
And like we mentioned before, this was a very hard-fought game. You saw Washington always wanting to give a punch back, but it just wasn't enough against this Bruin lineup. And the Bruin pitching, they've done a really great job of just holding games down so that their offense can do their work.
The Huskies pushed them to the limit in the top of the 7th, but ultimately